Mike Krueger. I write the White Wheat Report, PNW Wire. The name of my company is MK Consulting, and I live in Salem, Oregon. The current projections for world wheat carryovers, the basic measure, which makes you want to buy a bullet and rent a gun, is it's 4 years of record-setting levels. But I also showed them where it's distributed. Like half of it, almost half of it's going to end up isolated in China, and it used to be more at 25 or 30%. So the amount of wheat that's available in the world is actually quite a bit smaller than the measurement most people look at. So ran through that, the distribution in amongst the major exporters, and then had to touch upon Russia because their production and export capacities exploded. Early last June thought they might produce 64 million tons. Now it's 84 and still climbing. And that 20 million ton difference is huge. Biggest, cheapest seller in the world. That's about how much Australia produces. And then I kind of caught them up on this current situation for demand on white wheat, which is our local thing. So it's kind of a mixture on the one hand here, it looks like we're in such deep trouble. But there are qualifiers that can bring us to life sooner than you think. Well, we had some weather threats, and it looked like we're going to bring world supplies down pretty good. There wasn't room for weather threats. We're having trouble on Kansas and the markets. You'd think half the planet was in Kansas when they have bad weather. So we had some things building, and the charts got dressed up, and the funds were covering their shorts, and it looked like we might get up and dance. But the weather kind of went greenhouse everywhere, come in every week, and the Russian crop sounded bigger and bigger. And here we are hanging near the lows, waiting for something good to happen. Today, I'll use Chicago March as the main measure. It should have pretty good support at 425, unless the funds want to set a new record going short. Don't think they were going to do that. That's trying to hold a lot of resistance, just 20-25 cents higher without some pretty significant news. We've got the funds short 700 million, so that if we could get a surprise and they want to scramble and cover, that could give us a pretty nice spike. Getting anywhere beyond that's going to take a more major problem. Well, that's why the U.S. is still exporting as much as it is. It's totally key, and it isn't enough, but we're doing better than you might have thought. A lot of quality buyers in Asia, that helps us out here in particular. Probably a wide span of opinions there. I don't think it matters much. They have so much wheat they're going to need. Maybe you send somebody to Argentina instead of us or vice versa, but I think it's a pretty zero-sum game. Maybe the key thing that I'm intrigued by is this huge world carryover, almost half of it's isolated in China. And if you take China out of USDA's numbers, you get down to about 82 days worth of usage left over than the rest of the world. Well, 80's where you start getting interesting. So that's a lot more sensitive area than just looking at the world total is. Again, if you just look at the world total, you go, well, where do I go to give up? So don't give up.